MPs in the United Kingdom are indulging in too much sex and alcohol when they go for international trips on the government's expenses. This is precisely the worry that United Kingdom Prime Minister has, Rishi Sunak, and he's literally cracked a whip on his MPs, raising concerns over the same. In fact, the UK MPs reportedly were greeted by sex workers in their hotel rooms and after that drank quite heavily with them, and all this while they were abroad on a work trip. So the Prime Minister's spokesperson has said very clearly, admitting this, saying that we have seen some of the reports and some of the behavior here reported is clearly very concerning. In fact, Politico and The Times have reported that some UK MPs and peers use the all-party parliamentary groups as really a cover to solicit sex workers and drink excessively abroad. So the UK MPs are said to be using the all-party parliamentary group trips as their real excuse to go abroad and indulge. This all-party parliamentary groups find an occasion to go abroad on a fact-finding mission. It's basically research work and actual work basically funded by the foreign governments or private companies, take them to another country to do some research for the benefit of their own country. But here it appears the MPs there are instead indulging in all kinds of activities, particularly going to brothels there, over-drinking, alcoholism, indulging themselves in such a manner which is bringing shame to the United Kingdom. In fact, this piece of information now is widely being quoted across media platforms. The Outlet quoted a former Conservative MP during a visit to Southeast Asia asking for directions to the nearest brothel. Another minister who stayed back to pursue his interests in local women after the trip officially ended is what that article said. Another colleague mentioned in that news report said he routinely stayed on after these visits and linked up with young women in the place in question. He showed an interest in pretty young girls. Another foreign diplomat speaking to the Politico anonymously said a senior Labour figure showed quite some fondness for Russian girls. Another report in the Times stated that British MPs were met by a number of sex workers at their hotel while on a visit abroad, though there is no evidence that they knew this would happen in advance or if they engaged in their services, whether this was a surprise or had they called for these services. Of course, the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is worried, but not so worried about their overindulgence. He's not really concerned that his MPs are indulging in other women, in brothels, or drinking excessive alcohol. His real worry here is that these women might come back to blackmail his MPs using incriminating evidence against them. That's his real worry here. The highlight here is this is not specific to one party. It's the Tories as well as the Labour Party, male MPs within both the parties who are indulging in such activity. So it's no more the matter of the government to deal with. It's the matter of the House to crack a whip on their MPs. Let's see what happens.